How was the restaurant before the pandemic? According to the manager, before pandemic, their restaurant ran smoothly. They have lots of dining guests, party reservation, as well as bulk order and delivery transactions. What were their challenges during the pandemic 2020 to 2021 in terms of cost in 4Ms, manpower, machine, materials, and methods? Here are the challenges that they encountered during the pandemic. The first one is manpower. From 32 employees, they cut 15 employees because there are times that they are only open for takeout and delivery. And the second one is machine. They control use of their machines such as their aircon units, freezers, and chillers. The third one is materials. They maximize use of their materials such as office supplies. They seldom print memo. They just save it in USB or desktop. The last one is method. They maximize function of all employees from manager to housekeeping, and they do multitasking.
So how were they able to cope with the pandemic? What are their short-term and long-term strategies? And what are their shifts in terms of costs? So the manager said, to cope with the pandemic, we manage our costs, we maximize functions of everyone, and we do extra effort to generate sales by doing sales call, offering free delivery service for our delivery customers. And for short-term strategies, we offer drinks to our Grab and Food Panda who are partners for our delivery service, one of our saviors to increase our sales. And for the long-term strategies, cost control on our expenses and offering our love and care to the max service.
What is your group's assessment on the restaurant strategies? In accordance based on our assessment to the restaurant, as expected before pandemic, they have smooth service, loads of orders from walking guests, hence there's no pandemic that time. People preferences as it should be dining and other physical service since they want to maximize the experience on the restaurant. Since the pandemic started, we noticed as an assessor that they have made a lot of adjustments from 2 to head. Staff cuts from 32 to 15, reduces machinery use such as aircons and other, and the fact that many prefer food delivery. It is hard for the restaurant to come up again and they will make a lot of efforts for the sake of their establishment even if it's a high risk for them or loss of profit just to survive the health crisis. They offer an additional budget by just giving free drinks for the delivery man. But in somewhat it provides an additional sale for them, so it's a win situation. After assessing, we realized that cost control is very important, that knowing how it works will allow you to manage the business very well, even though there will be an unexpected crisis or loss.
If you can recommend it to the manager or owner based on your findings, what will it be? Explain and defend your answer. Based on our findings, according to the manager before the pandemic, the smooth running of the restaurant dining, delivery, transaction, etc. But when the pandemic did come, many restaurants were affected, and one of them was the restaurant where manager Jenny M. Tanjeco worked. That's where the restaurant challenge comes in. Firstly, manpower, because they cut employees from 32 to 15 because they only open for takeout and delivery. Second, machines, because they control use and machines like aircon units, freezer, chillers, etc. Third, they maximize materials such as office supplies, rarely print memos, instead saving to a USB or desktop. They have no choice but to maximize the function of all employees, but from manager to housekeeper, because they do multitasking to facilitate tasks quickly. To overcome all that, they use short-term and long-term strategy to manage their costs and maximize the function of each one of them. They use those efforts to generate their sales and offer pre-delivery service.
According to our findings, they overcame well even though there were so many challenges. But what I can recommend is that the manager should not lose his decisiveness because it is essential for efficient management. When making decisions on how to advance project, address problems, and guide teamwork's its objectives, employees will look their boss for guidance. A competent manager may be distinguished from a poor one by his or her capacity to provide a team with clear direction and make important choices. Lastly, don't lose hope because if you don't have hope, you can do everything to overcome the challenges. All in all, I can say anything because for us, the managers did well to cope during the pandemic.